noticed, as someone who is not prone to blisters, I have just seen patterns that have happened over the years and different types of races and the different types of blisters in the areas they happen very consistently. And so I wanted to kind of talk about those so that you can think about that prior to races so that you can prevent them, because that is the best thing to do. Treating them is no fun. So I think most people understand if you have ill-fitting shoes, poor running socks, just, cheap socks that don't do what they're supposed to do. They have seams and stuff inside of them. If you don't clip your toenails, they can rub together and cause blisters. Everyone knows that wet feet have a tendency to become a lot more sensitive to and prone to blisters. And that can happen in the heat. Sweating, just moisture on your feet, having very non-breathable shoes can help exacerbate that and cause blisters to happen. I know there are a lot of people that are more prone to blisters. I am not, but I do know that some people just deal with blisters as a matter of just being a runner, that they happen all the time and they suffer from them, and I feel extremely bad for those folks because blisters are not fun. So I've noticed in races where there's a lot of climbing, I have a tendency to get blisters on my toes. A lot of downhills, I get a lot of blisters on kind of the pad of my foot and the heels. Things like that, depending on the race. So if there's a lot of climbing, there'll typically be a lot of descent, but it's a matter of how steep and how much and the types of climbing. And what I do to try to prevent that is I Vaseline my toes up, my heels up, make sure my shoes are really locked down in the heel and in the toes, just to try to keep that, and being very mindful not to get lazy and just kind of slide my foot, shuffle. Shuffling has a tendency to cause those blisters to kind of happen on that pad of my foot. So just something to keep in mind there. Foreign objects in your shoe. I ran Belmonte a couple times, and there's actual beach sand at the top of the mountain. So wearing gaiters, keeping things out of your shoe, taking care of things that happen that you can feel, because you can feel the hot spots. You can feel if there's a pebble, if there's something in your shoe. Take care of that right away. Believe me, even if it's just kind of a minor feeling of oh wow, I probably should take care of that, you need to take care of it sooner than that, because it will always become a problem if you let it just stay in your shoe and then try to take care of it at the next aid station. Take the minute that it takes to sit down and get out whatever it is that's in your shoe. A new thing happened to me this year in the Yeti 100 that had never happened before. I started getting hot spots on kind of my heel. Let me grab a shoe. You guys know what a heel looks like, but on the medial side of my heel, I started getting blisters, hot spot feeling on both of them, and I could not for the life of me figure it out. And come to find out after a while looking down at my feet, the Yeti 100 has a lot of worn tire paths out there that you're running on. And because it was raining, I was trying to stay out of the long grass, so I was running with my feet awkwardly in these kind of skinny tire tracks. So I was doing this, but my feet were hitting on the outer halves of the tire track, worn tire track, so it was causing my feet to slide in my shoes, which kept rubbing on my heels. It was rubbing on both sides just because of the way the shoe was sliding. And I didn't notice it until it was too late. And those blisters actually stayed around for, probably a month after the healing process. And that was new to me. And I do know that, terrain plays a large part of it. And because of that race being a relatively flat, there's climbing, but it's over a long time, I didn't even think to have to worry about blisters at all. Now, the rain was a problem, but it was mostly those tire treads, running in those tire treads, that caused the major problem with the blisters on the heels. So the things you want to do, you want to lessen friction. You want to keep your feet dry. If you are somebody who's prone to blisters, you got to toughen your feet up. Walk more outside. Walk on sidewalks. Graduate to asphalt. Just spend more time toughening your feet up. It will really help. I spent a lot of time barefoot as a kid, and I walk around barefoot a lot now. I walk around a lot of flip-flops. I don't spend much time in a running shoe other than running. So toughen your feet up. That will definitely go a long way in helping you not get as many blisters as you probably get now. Make sure you have the right fitting shoe. And I know some people fall in love with shoes. I have shoes that I do not wear because I cannot get the lockdown correct in the shoe, and it just causes a little hot spot. So I just won't wear the shoes at all. And I know some people will just go ahead, whatever, I paid money for the shoe and run in it. I would say either get it locked down or get it to the point where it doesn't do that, or don't wear the shoe, especially in an ultra. If you're starting to get up into half marathons, and ultras, time friction and time are going to tear your feet up. So be smart about that and get rid of those shoes that just do not work for you. And again, I know a lot of people have their ways of battling. I've never put tape on my feet. I've never done any of that, but I do Vaseline my feet up quite a bit. I've always thought that, like, if by the time I have a blister, and if I'm putting like Band-Aids and things, that's just going to be a foreign object in the shoe. It's just going to cause more problems. Luckily, I've never had to deal with any of the tapes and things like that. Having a blister bad enough, but I know some people have lost like the whole bottoms of the heels, and I feel really bad for you, those of you who battle that type of blister. I can't even imagine. I mean, I've dealt with some that have been about that big, and those were not fun. And usually I didn't really even have that much of a problem with it until after the race. Think about the races you're going to go into. Think about the weather. Think about any type of weather. It doesn't mean just because it's going to be a nice dry day, that doesn't mean you won't get blisters. Doesn't mean your feet won't sweat. Think about your sock and your shoe combo. Are their shoes breathable? Or your socks breathable? Are the combos together working? Like, you need to test all of this stuff out prior to race day, and just prepare and think about it. Think about being conscious about where your feet are hitting, how they're hitting. Is there any slippage? Is there anything going on? Is your shoe not locked down? And if it isn't locked down, if you're getting some slip and you're just like, it's not that big of a deal, take care of it right away. Prevention is the best way to deal with blisters, because you do not want to deal with them after the fact, especially if you have to deal with so many hours of dealing with the pain. You don't want to DNF because you got a blister. All right, so that's blisters. And if you want to know about black toenails, go ahead and click right there. Black toenails and blisters. If you're an ultra runner, you're dealing with both these. So go ahead and click there. I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.